My grandpa told me he died centuries ago. He says nothing lives up there now. Oh yeah, I heard that he's still in it, waiting. They say if you go near the gate, you never come back.
Excellent! Bravo!
We're running out of time. If this isn't perfect, we'll be cast out before the ceremony even starts.
The mountain pass is blocked from fallen trees. The village stores are empty. They beg for a portion of the castle's grain.
They always beg. It's what they do, isn't it? If I give them grain today, they'll be back for meat tomorrow. Tell them to tighten their belts. It builds character.
They are starving, sire.
Then they should have chosen a more fertile valley. Do not bore me with their poverty. I have a ballroom to decorate. Careful, if that pin so much as scratches the silk, I shall have it melted down and turned into a button.
I've dressed you for every ball since you were a boy, Julian, how to handle a sigil. You're just nervous.
Nervous? I am the host.
The entire valley is downstairs waiting to bask in my glory.
Why would I be nervous?
Because they're all here to see if you finally choose a bride. They say your heart is as cold as the stones in this castle.
My heart is exactly where it should be, safely locked away so no foolish girl can find it. And you're here to serve, not to lecture. Pin me and see to the kitchens. The hors d'oeuvres must be perfect.
The music is for the nobilities, not those who smell of the gutter. Guards!
A celebration of life, Prince. Yet you ignore the decay just beyond these walls. The grain stalks are empty and the hearths are cold.
This is a palace of prestige.
You feast in a tomb of your own making, Prince, while the world turns to ash.
I'm not a shepherd for the starving, and this is no place for filth and peasants.
Then you shall be the vessel for all you refuse to see. You are a glutton for perfection, so perfection you shall have, but it will never be your own. Every day you will wither, and to hold that beauty you so crave, you must steal the life of another to fill the space. You will be a parasite, you will be feared, you will be alone. You can only break this curse when you choose to starve. When you finally give your own life to save one of the people you have spent your existence ignoring.
Leave it.
What is happening to me? Stay away.
You're the only one who knows the woods, Callie. But the snow is deeper than it was last year. The Blackwoods are a death sentence. Even the hunters won't go past the ridge anymore. The hunter didn't survive in the woods like I had to. And if you're not here, if I stay, we're all going to die anyway. If I come back, you won't need me to forage for scraps anymore. I'm not going for scraps. I'm also going for the fever root. Stay. Just stay. I'll be fine. Bar the door. Keep the fire low. I'll be back before the sun hits the ridge.
Hello? Is anyone there?
The scent of the living. It is offensive. Leave this place. There is nothing here but death.
I don't want your gold. I need medicine. People are dying in the village, and you sit here in the dark like a coward.
Do you have any idea what you are inviting? Leave, now. Do not come closer. If you touch me, you will not leave this hole.
Why? What will happen?
Don't. I told you.
You're one of them. Can you help me?
I haven't felt the latch of that gate in 300 years. None of us have. The castle doesn't recognize a guest who hasn't fulfilled their purpose. You're not leaving until the darkness is gone from the valley and until the master is reconciled. I'm not his servant. I'm leaving. You're currently wearing a peasant's rags in a house of mourning. There is a dress laid out for you on the bed. Heavy silk.
Why? Why should I put on his clothes?
Because the castle is a theatre, and if you intend to play the part of the guest, you must at least dress for the role. This place doesn't respect a girl who looks like she's ready to run. It respects someone who looks like they belong here. If I put that dress on, it's not because I belong here. It's because I'm going to use every inch of this place to tear it down from the inside to get back to my sister.
Then you'd best be quick. The silk is cold and the days are long.
The castle won't let me leave, will it?
The castle reacts to a tent. You came here seeking a solution to the filth that is consuming your home. It will not release you until that purpose is fulfilled.
So now you're holding me hostage in this tomb?
I'm not holding you. I'm merely the steward of this place. If you wish to starve at the gate, you're welcome to try.
Fine. I'll stay. But I'm not playing the part of your guest. I'm here until I find a way out. Am I dead?
You are simply recovering. I wasn't touching you long enough to kill you.
I felt like I was being pulled apart by the very walls of this place.
You felt the curse. It has been dormant for a long time, but it reacts to anything that reminds it of what it destroyed. The touch, it was a collision of energies. You were overwhelmed. You fainted.
And you haven't taken a single bite. Why are you just sitting there?
I don't eat. Not for 300 years. The curse, it does not permit the luxury of sustenance. It only permits the memory of hunger.
You're not just a prisoner, are you?
I am whatever the castle requires me to be.
And why is this place a graveyard? Like everyone just vanished into thin air?
They didn't vanish. They fled. When I became this, they realized that no wall could keep the hunger out.
And you stayed?
I couldn't leave, so I became the jailer of my own life. While you regain your strength, I'll begin the ritual to reinforce the castle ward. I can't risk anyone else coming here. Not until I'm sure I can control the hunger.
So what now? I'm useless like this.
Now we start preparing.
Preparing for what? What do you want from me?
You think I'm the one keeping you here. The castle doesn't just let you walk out. If you want to leave, the answer is in the library. The library holds the history of this curse, the names of the men who failed before me, and the exact price required to break it. We need to know the origin of this. We have a great deal of reading to do. Rest today. Tomorrow, the work begins.
My sister has the fever. If she doesn't get the root, she might not last the night.
There are many things that won't last the night. The candles in this hall, the wood in that hearth, your misplaced hope.
She's alone. She's dying because the air in this valley is turning to poison. The valley is dying because it was forced to a broken kingdom.
That was their choice, not mine. Why should I disrupt the natural order of things?
Natural order? You're not a god, Julian. You're just a man sitting in the dark, watching the world die so you don't have to be alone in it.
Then leave me to my darkness. Don't come to me at the village. You are a guest here by necessity, not by invitation.
The villagers swear is nothing but a ruin held together by vines and bad memories. Prince died in the fire 3 centuries ago. They're fools, Draken. They haven't been up to the ridge. They haven't seen how the birds turn back before they even reach the tree line. And you have. I was tracking a stag. I got too close to the boundary. The air, it didn't feel like air. It felt heavy. And the shadows, they didn't move with the sun. They moved toward the castle like the place was breathing them in. A localized distortion of natural law. Is it a curse? Does it matter? I've seen the way the local flora dies in perfect geometric patterns near the gate. That isn't nature. That is intent.
You think he's still in there, the prince?
I think that after 300 years, if he's still in there, he's not a man anymore. He's a remnant.
The roast, my prince, perfectly charred, just as the feast demanded.
It's been ash for 3 centuries. Why do you insist on the theatre?
Because if we stop serving sire, we might have to notice that we are already dead.
And if we notice we are dead, we would have to stop waiting for you to fix the door.
She's still in the kitchens, Your Grace. The girl. She is looking for the fever root again.
Tell her the kitchens are for food, not for thievery. And Lael, if you find her in the kitchens again, don't warn her next time.
She's going to find the tincture, Bram. Then the prince will have us all for kindling. She won't find it. The label's all in Latin, and she's a farm girl. She can't even read her own grocery list.
It's not Latin, it says fever.
I'm sending this to my sister. If you try to stop me, I'll tell him you're the ones who taught me where the larder was.
And you both are talking so loudly I can hear you from the gatehouse.
I told you she heard us. Your stealth whisper sounds like a squeaky cartwheel.
It does not! I was being majestic. Next time you're the one who has to squeeze behind the flour sacks. We were testing your security awareness.
We're the castle guard. We're supposed to be scary. You're not supposed to know we're here.
Oh, right, yes. You are very scary. I was very scared.
And you're hungry, aren't you?
I'd give my left eye to taste a turnip, a real one, not one made of ash and regret.
She's dangerous, Bram. She's got grit.
I like her. Let's go hide in the library. If he asks, we've been dusting the shelves for the last 300 years.
The records of the curse are here. Centuries of them. My ancestors, the Enchantress decree. I have read them all 1,000 times.
And yet you're still here. So clearly you were looking in the wrong place.
I was looking for a way to undo what she did to me. I suspect that was the mistake.
Well, you've had 300 years to be wrong, Julian.
The archives are divided by intent. The laws, the lineage, the records of heart. I avoided that section. It seemed frivolous.
A prince who knows only laws and bloodlines doesn't know how to live. Show me the records of heart. Today we're going to be right. Where do we even start?
This isn't a castle, it's a prison. And it's falling apart because he stopped caring enough to even look at it. Oh, sow the seed in the bitter gray, for the sun will wake on a brighter day. What's lost in the dark, what's claimed by the cold, is a story unwritten, a song untold. A song untold. For the dark may linger and the walls may fall, but the heart beats true beneath it all.
You are cleaning.
The dust was suffocating me. I couldn't read your scrolls if I couldn't breathe.
I haven't heard a sound in this hole that wasn't the wind of my own pacing in 300 years.
Well, we'll get used to it. If I'm staying, I'm not living in a tomb. And if you want to help, you can start by hauling the water for the next room.
This vessel? You expect me to carry this? I assure you I've spent 300 years perfecting the art of doing absolutely nothing.
Do you have anything better to do? Because as far as I can tell, your schedule is wide open and the floors aren't going to clean themselves.
I have a library of cursed texts to contemplate. I'm quite certain my hands were not meant for manual labor. But if you insist on dragging me into your crusade against grime, I suppose I can manage.
What's in there?
Not that door, Kallista, never that door. The east wing is structurally unsound. The floors are rotted through. We will focus our eyes on the library for now. We have plenty to keep us busy here.
You're looking for the tincture of fever root.
My sister is dying.
You think I hoard these things because I want them? I keep them because they are the only things left that haven't turned to ash yet.
She's living, she's breathing. That is worth more than a dusty glass.
Why do you care? You're trapped here. You will never see her again. Why waste your strength trying to save someone who is already lost?
Because I'm not you, Julian. I don't stop loving just because the world gets dark.
Stop. Please, don't do that.
I have nothing else. She's all I have.
I told you, I can't open the gate. I can't leave. But there are ways. Old ways. The castle has forgotten shafts that breathe out into the valley. Go to the northern gate and wait. If the wind is with us, your sister will have her fever ruth by morning.
It's useless, Lael. All the words are starting to blur together. I'm trying to find a way to break this curse so I can leave, but there's nothing. I just want to go home. I need to get back to my sister. He had a sister, you know. When the curse came, it didn't take the village or the royal court, only us. For the first 60 years, he refused to leave the high tower. He stood the glass every single day. He watched his sister grow from a young girl into an old woman. He watched her marry, have children, and slowly grow old. He watched everyone he ever loved age and die in the sun, while he stayed exactly the same. Locked inside this cold grey castle until they were all gone. He watched them all die. He built that cold, arrogant armor because surviving that kind of grief requires it. You're fighting to get back to your family before time steals them away from you. He understands that terror better than anyone.
The winds were favorable. The route reached the valley basin. The doctor there, he has been treating a young girl of fever. He claims the recovery was miraculous. The fever has broken.
You did it.
I did what was necessary. The castle is quieter when you are not mourning. That piece of iron around your neck, it has been there since the day you arrived.
It's not iron. It's silver. It was my mother's.
Why do you wear it? Does it hold a memory?
It's a reminder of who I am.
I have forgotten the weight of a keepsake. Tell me, does it still make you feel like you belong to that world? Or have the shadows here finally started to claim you too?
You hide in the shadows, but you refuse to cover your hands. Why?
You think a layer of silk or leather would act as a cage for this? The curse doesn't reside on my skin. It is my skin. It is the boundary between a world I'm no longer allowed to touch. If I wore gloves, I would only be lying to myself. The darkness doesn't need contact to travel. It simply needs me to exist. To wear gloves would be to pretend I could ever be part of the world again. I'd rather face the truth than hide behind a lie. They fear me. Even now, they pray I stay behind these walls.
They don't fear you, Julian. They've forgotten you. Fear implies you still have power over them. They just see your castle as a landmark. A monument to a king who died a long time ago.
Everyone else won't even look me in the eye, yet you walk right up to the edge. Why aren't you scared of me?
I see only what is before me.
I could take the rest of your youth in a single breath if I lost my temper.
Because I'm the only one here who knows you're still capable of feeling again. That's a start. Besides, if I stayed away, you'd die alone in the dark. And I suspect that's exactly what you want.
Don't assume to know what I want.
I don't have to assume. I see you watching the sunrise every morning, Julian. You don't want to die. You just don't know how to live anymore. You know, if you watered it, it might actually bloom.
It's been dead for 300 years. It simply refuses to finish dying. Like everything else within these walls. Castle keeps it in this state of perpetual suspension.
Maybe. But you've been watching it for 300 years too. You clearly want it to live as much as I do.
I didn't think anyone noticed the things I keep.
I notice everything, Julian. That's why you're so uncomfortable when I'm in the room. It's not a banquet, Julian. It's just oats and root vegetables.
I had forgotten the taste of effort.
It's not just the food. It's the fact that someone took the time to make it. That's the part you missed, isn't it? The care.
I spent my life demanding things, and the one time I am offered something freely, I am terrified I don't deserve the spoon in my hand.
Then earn it. Eat. For the first time in centuries.
I won't be able to taste it, but thank you for the effort.
You are cleaning.
"300 years staring at the dust, never thinking it mattered. I suppose I simply grew tired of the view.
Is that why you're doing it? To change the view?
I was merely existing. There's a difference, Kallista.
And now?
Now, it's not about me.
You're holding that rolling pin like it's a sword, Julian. You're trying to bake bread, not execute it.
I never had to feed myself. I had 100 hands to do it for me. I fear my arrogance extended to my culinary skills as well. You said it before, about the stew you made for me, about care being something you actually put your hands into. I wanted to see, I thought I could never mind. It's foolish.
It's not foolish, it's sweet.
A disaster, you mean? It's not listening to me.
Because you're gripping it too tight. Stop trying to overpower it. Keep your hands low, push forward, and fold it back over itself. Let the weight do the work, not your anger. If we're gonna be here, we aren't eating raw dough.
See gentle. See gentle.
The bloodline ended 3 centuries ago. Tell me the truth, Hag. Is the prince alive?
The prince is alive. He is a vessel, caught in a cage of his own making. The curse is real. It is a slow, agonizing harvest of time.
Explain.
He has been granted the gift of eternal youth, a body that will never wither, a heart that will never stop, but it is a gilded rot. He is a ghost chained to his throne, waiting for a soul brave enough to break the seal. He is immortal, yet he has not lived a day in 300 years.
Eternal youth. A life without end. I have spent my years amassing power, yet time is the one enemy I cannot conquer.
You seek to wear his chains?
I seek the longevity that keeps him on it. Tell me, old woman, can the curse be transferred?
The curse does not merely seek a host, it seeks a sacrifice. If you want his immortality, you must be willing to inherit his agony. You must find him. You must draw the life from his lungs, and you must be prepared to pay the price in blood.
A small price for eternity.
Drink this when the time is ready. Then speak the incantation, the words of binding, and the curse will flow straight into your veins.
What is it?
It's mostly legends, I think. Stories about the valley before the...
Most of those accounts are fabricated nonsense, written by men who never had to face the reality of what this world actually is. Read it to me.
Where should I start?
From the beginning. I want to hear if they got anything right.
Long ago, the king claimed the northern lands.
And though the winter lasted for 100 years, the kingdom did not wither. It simply held its breath, waiting for the spring that swore would never come.
It's a lie.
It's a story.
It's a lie that ignores the cost. The king didn't wait for spring because he was noble. He waited because he was too proud to admit he had killed the sun.
Maybe. But the people in the story, they still looked for the light.
Even when they knew it might not come. Why? Why look for something that has clearly abandoned you?
Because if you stop looking, you lose hope.
Read the next chapter.
Kallista. Come in, Kallista.
He didn't yell. He didn't even tell her to leave. He just sat there.
Sat where? Did he sit in the good chair, the one with the velvet?
In the study, staring at the portrait of his mother. And the girl was there. She was reading to him.
Reading? Oh, that's lovely. I haven't heard a story in 300 years. Did she read about knights, or maybe the one about the baker who finds a pot of gold? I always like the one with the baker.
She was reading poetry, Bram. And he just listened like he finally remembered how to be a person.
And?
I don't know what's worse, Bram. Being trapped in this tomb or having to explain to you why the prince acting like a human being is a life-altering event. It's the girl, isn't it? She's good for him.
She's nice, Garrick. I'm going to go see if she has any more of those dried apples. They're much better than the dust I've been having for lunch.
Raina. Julian, how did you...
They told me you were dead. The village held a funeral, Kallista. I'm here, I'm alive. What are you wearing? It's nothing, it's all they have here. I thought I'd never hear your voice again. Come back with me, please. I wish I could. I'll find a way back to you, Raina. I promise. Don't let him hurt you.
Is that why you can't come home? Is that the monster who took you?
No. He isn't a monster. He's the only reason I'm still alive. He would never hurt me. I love you, Raina. I'm coming back, I promise.
I wish I could reach out and thank you properly to hold you for doing this for me, but I'm afraid if I touch you, the only thing left of me will be dust.
Your wish is a beautiful, dangerous thing. But today it is enough that you are looking at me and that she is looking at you.
You watered it.
It's been a year since you arrived in this tomb. I know the silence here is unbearable, and I know that I am a poor host.
You drew these?
I remembered what the world looked like before the darkness took it. I thought if you are going to be forced to stay within these walls, perhaps you shouldn't have to look at nothing but shadows.
My village, how did you know?
I spend every day staring down at that valley. I know every stone, and I have memorized every single detail you have spoken of since the day you arrived.
It's beautiful, Julian. I didn't know you were an artist.
I was, a lifetime ago, back when I arrogantly thought I could capture the world on parchment and own it. I gave it up when the curse took hold. I draw because everything else in this castle has been frozen and dead for 300 years. It's the only way to capture things that are alive.
You spend so much time trying to convince me that you are this cold, terrifying monster, but what you did here, how carefully you listened to me. It's the sweetest thing anyone has ever done for me.
I'm not sweet, Kallista. I am a selfish, cursed creature who stole you from your life to keep myself company in the dark. This isn't sweetness. It's the only apology I can offer when my hands are not allowed to hold you.
I told you, this is the only part of this castle you don't enter.
I just wanted to know.
You wanted to know what? What I was hiding? You wanted to see the monster. Leave here now and never come back.
What is that?
It's a cage, Kallista, and you're trespassing in a place that has no room for the living.
Is that you?
It's the call of what I became when I decided that perfection was most important. That husk in the glass is the true price of survival.
Why hide it behind a handsome face and locked doors if you're bothered pretending you're a man at all?
Because for 300 years, it was the only way I could bear to look in a mirror. Now, get out. If you want to play at being a guest, stay in the library where you belong.
You're very talented.
You think I'm cold, Kallista? You think I'm just stone? I was the greatest portraitist of my age, could capture a soul before it knew it was gone.
Then show me. If you're so brilliant, show me something that isn't dead.
The living are too fast, too fragile. They die even when they're breathing.
Don't you need to see me to draw me?
You ask if I need to see you, as if my eyes are the only things capable of perceiving you. I've memorized every shift of your shadow, every hesitation in your breath, and every way the light dies when you look away from me. I don't need to see you, Callie. You are burned into my memory. You want to see? Then look.
You didn't paint me as a ghost. You painted me as if I were burning. Why?
Because I can't look at you without seeing the fire. And God help me, I'm going to be consumed by it.
Julian, I didn't mean...
Don't. You have no idea what you do, Callie. Every time you move, every time you breathe, every time you stand close enough for me to smell your scent, it is a slow, agonizing fire. It's the only way I can keep you alive. I've spent 300 years perfecting the art of keeping my hands to myself, Kallista, but do not mistake that for indifference. It's torture being this close to the only light I have left and not being able to touch. To see the warmth radiating off you, and to have my hands bound by the darkness I created. Please, go before I forget the danger, and start acting like the man I want to be, instead of the monster I am.
Wow, Leal, it's beautiful. 300 years and it's finally ready. The night of the veil. You set this up the same as it was that night, didn't you?
Every 100 years on the exact anniversary of the curse, the veil between this castle and the mortal world wears thin. For exactly 3 hours, starting at the stroke of midnight, the magic sleeps. If you want to see the man he was and the man he could be, this room must be exactly as it was when the clock stopped. It's the only way to anchor him. I've watched him for 3 centuries. I know the dark and I know the man. But I've seen the change in him since you arrived. When the veil thins, the memory will hit him like a physical blow. If he sees you in this room... You want me to force him to remember. I want you to show him that he has changed. He remembers the arrogance of that night. He has forgotten the warmth he was capable of. Holding the light, he will see that the last year wasn't wasted. Prepare yourself. When the clock strikes midnight, he'll walk through those doors not as a beast, but a man who finally has something to lose. Tonight is the 300th anniversary, Kallista. When the clock strikes 12, you will have 3 hours. Make them count.
I've imagined this every single night since you arrived. I've stood in the shadows, staring at that invisible boundary between us, imagining exactly what it would feel like to finally reach across it. I tried to convince myself that the dream was enough, because it had to be. But the dream was nothing, Kallista. Nothing can come close to this. I've spent years watching the world go by from a window, Kallista. I thought I knew what beauty was.
And what did you think it was? The gold? The power?
I thought it was stillness, a world without noise, without hunger. But looking at you, standing there at the top of those stairs, I realize I have been blind. The beauty isn't in the stillness, it's in the movement. It's in the way you look at me as if I'm not a monster.
You aren't a monster tonight, Julian.
Then tonight, I'll remember how to be just a man.
On the stone, a golden prince who learned to die alone. I held my breath and waited for the end, too terrified to break, too proud to bend.
You told me you were poison, cold and dead, but I saw all the life you never led. You starved yourself to keep the winter out. Now
forgotten how to be gentle, it's true. I only knew how to consume until I pushed you away, so afraid I would break you. But now I am praying the shadows don't take you. The veil is wearing thin for us tonight. Step out of the dark and into the light. We only have 3 hours in the glass before the magic breaks and shadows pass. So let the clock forget to turn its hands and pull me close while time still stands. I pushed you back, I told you I was wrong, but you reached out and showed me I belong. I trade my immortality of cold for a single mortal moment to grow old.
I crossed the ridge and walked into the tomb, and brought a spark into the empty room. I didn't run, I didn't turn around. I dug until the buried man was found.
The veil is wearing thin for us tonight. Step out of the dark and into the light.
We only have 3 hours in the glass before the magic breaks and shadows pass.
So let the clock forget to turn its hands and pull me close while time still stands. I don't care if the morning takes my breath. I've already survived a quiet death.
You are the pulse, you are the tethered line. For one perfect heartbeat, you are mine.
I'd give up eternity, the stars up above.
Just to spend the rest of this night learning how to love.
3 hours
I have forgotten how to be gentle. I've spent centuries only knowing how to consume. Teach me.
There's nothing to teach. I trust you.
I watched you for a year from the shadows. I spent a year counting every time you breathed, every time you laughed, every time a tear fell from your cheek, terrified to move closer. I don't want to be a ghost. I just want this, to hold you without destroying everything that I love. For centuries, I've existed only as a warning to stay away. But you didn't run. You walked through the darkness to find me. I have only wanted for the world to end, Callie. But for the first time, I am terrified of it. Tell me this isn't a dream. And let me spend the rest of this night learning how to love you.
You don't need to learn how to love me, Julian. You already know how. Stop being afraid of what you might break. Now, stop being afraid of it. We only have 3 hours. Show me how much of you is still capable of being gentle. Slow down, you're eating that like it's running away.
Salt, butter. I haven't tasted anything but ash in forever. Considering I'm suddenly very mortal and you are incredibly demanding, I worked up an appetite.
Demanding? I seem to recall you being the one practically begging to spend the rest of this night loving me.
And I fully intend to keep that promise. But if I am going to survive the next 2 hours with you, I need sustenance.
Eat fast, Julian. The clock is ticking.
Forget the food. Our time is ending. The castle is waking up and the veil is resetting. Kallista, the curse is gone for now. It's suspended in this moment of transition. The castle won't hold you.
I'm not leaving you here.
Kallista, I'm not asking. You have to go. The clock is already turning.
I don't want to leave you to handle the darkness alone.
You don't understand. The best part of my entire existence has been the 3 hours I just had to be a man for you. If you stay, you'll see me lose that. You'll see the darkness take over the man, and I won't let your last memory of me be the monster. I've spent centuries waiting for the world to end, but I've spent this last year learning that I never deserved a life this beautiful. Go, Callie. Go, Callie. Ride until the sun touches the horizon. Don't look back.
I'm not leaving because I want to. You know that.
I know. Thank you for showing me what it's like to actually live.
I'll never forget you, Julian.
Callie, you look like you haven't seen the sun in years.
You've been home for 2 days and you haven't said a word about what happened to you. You just sit there staring at those things.
Everything here feels too bright, too loud.
And you seem different. Like you left your soul in that place. Do you even remember who you were before you walked into those gates?
I remember. I don't feel like her anymore. I miss the stillness of that place. It's the only thing that makes sense to me now. You miss him, not the silence, don't you?
Don't. I don't know what you think you know. I'm just trying to figure out how to live in a world that doesn't feel like it fits anymore.
You've been wasting this domain, Julian. 3 centuries of concentrated, stagnant power just sitting here waiting for a tenant who actually knows how to spend it.
You don't know what you're asking for.
Silence!
Hello? Julian! What happened? Where's Julian?
We don't know. They took him.
Who took him?
We don't know.
Let's split up and find him.
Thank God. You found us.
Nabranegiam Staupia.
Hello? Julian!
Now, let's see if this works.
Julian,
You weren't supposed to come back, Kallista.
do you really think I'd ever go back to that life when my choice was always going to be you?
I wanted you safe. far away from the darkness of this place.
I don't want safe without you, Julian.
Think of it as a mandatory promotion. Kali, go. I can't let them see you here. How poetic. The curse was bound to my blood.
Julian, no!
I'm finally free, and it's because of you. I'm free because you loved a monster enough to break his chains.
How am I supposed to go on without you?
By doing what I never could. Build a life. Grow old, watch your children grow, be happy. Do it for both of us. I spent my whole life watching everyone else grow old, build families, and leave me behind. Don't waste your life doing the same. Do it for me, Kali.
You chose to give your life to save a soul you once would have discarded. You finally broke the curse, Julian. You are no longer the vessel.
You're back.
You should know by now I don't know how to leave you.
You look like the man you were always meant to be before the darkness took hold. It's a good look on you.
I felt like I was shedding a century for every lock that fell to the floor. I thought if I changed nothing, I could avoid the truth.
And what truth was that?
That I was waiting for you.
You drew me with roses instead of fire.
The man who drew you in the fire was terrified that his curse was going to consume you, that the only way he could ever love you was by destroying you.
And the man who drew the roses.
He finally understands that these roses, beautiful, fragile, and destined to wither, are worth 1,000 times more than a flame.
Prince Julian is having a ball and everyone is invited!
Look at that, eh? To a fine day!
You haven't taken a bite yet.
I thought tasting food again or feeling the sun on my face would be the greatest revelation of breaking this curse. But it all pales, Kallista. It all disappears the second I look at you.
We have the rest of our natural mortal lives to drink the cellar dry.
And I plan to. I plan to eat, drink, and sit in the sun every single hour of the day until my very mortal heart gives out.
Look at him. No coldness.
He finally learned how to live.
And because of her, he gave us back our lives too.
To the end of the winter.
For the first time in centuries, my time is finite. I'm going to age. I have a limited number of days left on this earth, a limited number of heartbeats. And I swear to you, I won't waste a single one of them doing anything but loving you.
Then we'd better get started. You have a lot of lost time to make up for.
Then I suppose I should begin right now.
Watch where you are walking, old woman. Are you blind or just entirely lacking in grace?
My apologies, Your Highness. The crowd is rather overwhelming.
Clearly. They let absolutely anyone into these provincial celebrations nowadays. Do me a favor and stand somewhere else. You are ruining my view.
As you wish, little prince, though I suspect your view is about to change very, very drastically.
I'd give up eternity, the stars up above, just to spend the rest of this night